It's me. I'm back. I know it's been a really long time. Things have been, Christmas crazy. Swim meets and sick kids and all sorts of things. So I haven't been around or had the privacy to be able to record much lately. So that's why it's been a while. So, hi. I've missed you. Well, not really. Really. I think of you often. I visit you in the 5D frequently. So I just haven't spoken to you, which I really gotta say, I really like doing this. If you're hearing my messages, all the better, but it makes me feel just a little more connected rather than just writing down everything all the time. It gives me hope that you're hearing my words and knowing that I'm thinking about you, and that makes me feel great. And it's Christmas time. I love Christmas time. I love Halloween for a different reason, but I love Christmas time. Please hold. I have a message. Who is the message from? My son. He wants me to do him a favor. Story of my life. Anyway, let's see what he wants for his favor. Bring him lunch. I can do that. Just he wants lunch and a cookie. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Turn that off. All right, where was I? I'm back. It's Christmas time. I like Christmas time. I've had a lot of Reiki clients lately. A lot of people going through a lot of stuff. Christmas always opens up that veil between. The veil between realms is much thinner. There's lots more spirit touching you on the shoulder saying, don't forget, or remember me. And I've had a lot of people struggling. It's like that every Christmas. I guess being a energy worker, I'm getting a different side of it this year, which is cool as long as I can help in some way, which I think I've been doing a good job, so that's good. But it's very interesting because everybody's been kind of getting similar messages, maybe not the same, but similar messages, and it got me thinking. And it's basically the messages, don't get caught up in the shoulds or have tos, or all the ego-based thinking, like have to do this, the lists of this needs to be done or else I'm a failure, or the expectations of others. So I took a new approach last year. It was my first official year, I guess being completely on my own with my kids. It kind of was before, but officially was my first year last Christmas. And I took a different approach that I've really tried to adopt throughout my whole life, day to day, but also I'm trying to get others to understand, so I wanted to share it with you. And that is, if you don't feel it in your heart, you shouldn't be doing it. So I have a list of things that say, to be a perfect Christmas, you have to do this and this and this and this and this. And if you fail or if you miss any one of them, you're a failure at Christmas. People do that at Christmas overly, but they do it through their life as well. You have to do's. And they don't stop and say, okay, this is the list, but what do I want to do? What does my heart say that would bring me joy? Like, I used to love to do Christmas cards because I like to write the letter and send it out. But then I realized I don't have to do all the work of a Christmas letter. I can just write a blog and people can read the blog. And then I realized that I was just really writing it for me so I could just journal it and I didn't have to worry about what other people got to see. Some people missed it, but for the most part, nobody even commented that we don't do it anymore. So it was one of the things that I could take off my list as a have to do's. I still write my thoughts and the things I want to remember in my journal, but it's not a stressful, has to be done by this time, has to be in the mail or it won't be received, etc., etc. Cookies. Cookies is another one. As a kid, my mom made so many things at Christmas, and I thought that as a mom, that was my job. I had to do this, had to make for this person's favorite, this person's favorite, this person's favorite. And I took a step back and said, maybe we don't have to do them all. Maybe we can pick our favorites and do the favorites. Do we even really need that many cookies? I mean, yeah, they're tasty and all, but really, that 30 pounds that we're going to put on over Christmas is just going to make me feel terrible about myself. So, and then create a whole nother thing I have to deal with in the new year. So, yes, we still make cookies, but to a smaller degree and only, 1 or 2 batches, enough that Santa can have some when he visits on Christmas Eve. And we can have treats if people stop by, but it's not that we need to gorge on Christmas cookies for the entire season, which is better for all of us. I know you probably won't agree with that, but it's helped me. So it's just another thing that, instead of being a 3 or 4 day ordeal, it's an afternoon with my kids, and I can sit in the moment and treasure the moment as a family tradition that we make cookies together, and just enjoy the moment and see their delight in their successes and see them having fun together and making a mess and not stressing about the mess and just being in the moment. So I guess that's it. It's being in the moment and knowing that moment is bringing you joy, instead of being in a moment of stress and I don't want to be here and all the rest of it. If you're dreading the time that you have to spend, whatever it is, with people, doing things, whatever it is, if you're dreading that time, it's not where you're supposed to be. You have to release that idea of ego and have tos and shoulds and all that, and remember what brings you joy and happiness, because when we figure that out, then we attract more joy and more happiness. And so then I was reminiscing about Christmas and holidays and missing you, and remembering the New Year's Eve that you and your family came and spent it with my family and my grandmother at our cottage. And those moments bring me so much joy. And then having you come to my house for Christmas dinner last minute because we had a sick kid and we couldn't do the plan of going away like we had intended to, and you showed up and you guys had, I literally had like a last minute whatever I could find Christmas dinner for your family and mine, and I didn't even remember what we ate, but just having us all in the same room together and being in each other's company, I loved it. And those are the things I remember. I don't remember the stuff under the tree. I don't remember the food on the table or the cookies we shared. I just remember the people and the moments that my heart treasures, and I miss that. If I could have one wish this Christmas season, it would be that, to have you in our presence, to have our family share space, to share my family traditions with your family, share your family traditions with mine, to just share those things that bring us happiness and create memories that we can cherish and look back on and feel unconditional love. And that's what I love. That's why I love Christmas, because I have many of those, and It's not about, I honestly have very few gifts that stand out in my mind. It's about the people and the activities that we do together. Snowmobiling, up the hill where I'm sure you were laughing at me. I'm pretty sure you were laughing at me when you went up the hill and I couldn't make it up behind you, but I did make it up. Maybe not directly, but I did make it up. And yeah, you sitting there clapping. You thought it was funny. Anyway, things like that, that's what I miss. Those are the things I cherish. Those are the things that I wish everybody would remember. Building a snowman, going for a walk, whatever. It's moments and people, and that's what the holidays are about. And my one wish would be to share those with you again, because that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. Yeah, I had some stuff come up during some meditation work and journeying work, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it to you or not. I guess I'll tell you parts of it. It was, yeah. You have never let me down. I understand everything that's happened in the past had to be for what it was, and I don't want you to ever feel guilt or shame or that you let me down, or because I do understand that in your own way you're trying to protect me, and also the choices we made, I'm good with them. I'm good with them. Everything for a reason. I truly believe that. So that was one part. I wanted to ask you a question. I've been seeing, well, I always do, so many angel numbers. 1111, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2s everywhere, 4s everywhere. 0225, I see that a lot. I see your name. I hear songs. There's so many times I'm just like, really? Is that a message? And I was just curious. Do you see signs like that? Do you see the angel numbers? Do you see my name places and it makes you think of me? Do you hear songs that speak to you? I'm just curious because sometimes I feel like I'm being bombarded, and I just wonder if you ever get that too. So that was my one question. I feel like you're stuck in a way. I've been having a lot of chest pain. I think I talked to that before. Please get that looked at because I think you need help with that. But I feel like you're stuck just emotionally, that you feel like you can't go anywhere, so you're doing a lot of thinking. As long as that thinking doesn't bring you down and it allows you to see doors to go through, or possible different paths or ways out of this frustration and this stalemate and this stuckness, or whatever you want to call it, and that lets you find your truth. Just don't get lost. Don't get lost in the stuck, if that makes sense. That's what I wish for you. And recognize that you're there for a reason, to think and to recognize that you have choices. And as long as you continue, or as long as any of us, and this again has come back to my Reiki, it's been coming up a lot, as long as you make choices with your head and ego rather than your heart, you will keep returning to this crossroads of decision until you learn to make decisions with your heart. That's what I learned. So I'm sharing that with you. And I also understand that you are overwhelmed with the burdens of responsibility. I was there. But what I also learned is that if you trust in the universe and you follow your heart and you trust in the universe and you sit in happiness, find your happiness, walk in happiness, walk in, what's the other one I said? Confidence and optimism, then you will attract more happiness, and positivity and success, because positive energy attracts positive energy. So stay in a high vibration. I guess that's what I'm saying. It can easily downslide, but if you stay in that positive and you stay in that confidence and you stay in optimism and you look for that happy instead of being satisfied with just, oh, this is what I deserve, this is where I'm destined to suffer forever, whatever that is, you will only attract more of that. So you have to flip the switch, sorry, flip the switch, sit in high vibration, sit in happiness and optimism, and find the positives, and it will only attract more positive, and it will actually repel the bad. So maybe that's an easier way to make the decisions. But again, decisions that are made with head and ego will ultimately circle you back until you start thinking with this and where your truth is. So work, family, all those burdens of responsibility, think with this instead of this, and you'll be good. What else did I want to say? Oh, I know. So we've always been taught that we can't be selfish. Well, you and I were raised the same, in that you have to help others, you have to give of yourself, you have to self-sacrifice, take care of other people. If we take care of ourselves, or we worry about ourselves and we don't think of others, then we're being selfish and ego, and that is ego, which it is if you go to the furthest degree. But there's a balance, and you can still, you have to take care of you to be able to take care of others. So if you're always self-sacrificing, you have nothing left. If you are drowning, you can't rescue somebody else. If you're drowning, it just doesn't work. You're both going to drown. So you can be good and still take care of you. You can be a good person and still take care of you. You don't have to self-sacrifice. That was another thing. Balance is key. So again, listen to your heart and your truth. That will guide you, and it's a good place to be. My guides came through with messages. You came through with messages. Your higher self came through with messages. So I'm just gonna say them to you, because if it reflects, or if it has to do with me, it has to do with you, and I feel like it's kind of both. Remember to be confident, optimistic, because happiness and optimism attract more positive and successful energy into our lives. Stay high vibrational. I already said that. The other one was fate. Simply put, there are just some things that are fated. Things that will happen regardless. You can try to fight it, but eventually the universe will take the reins and put things right. So fate is fate. You can't deny it. It will happen. You can believe it or you cannot believe it. You can try to fight it. It will come around. That's just what it is. Drop ego and fears. Spirit will guide you where you need to be. But you have to also remember that you're co-creating. So, but if you take the lead, or if you, I guess just remember that Spirit takes care of those who take care of themselves. So trust in yourself, trust in your truth, and Spirit will guide you. But also, it will kick you in the ass if you fight it too much. Yeah, pretty much. It's a team effort. I guess, and then these are a few messages from me that I've written out over the last little while, since I haven't been able to talk to you. Just things I wanted to remind you of. When the very, very, very first time that I met you, very first time that we connected eye to eye, I saw your soul. And at the time, I felt the love that we shared through every lifetime we've ever existed in. I didn't realize what that was at the time. I was overwhelmed. It was powerful. It was shocking. Now I understand what it was. Now I understand what that love is. And I just want you to remember that too, because you felt it too. I know you did. Looking at you, I saw my mirror. I saw my soul. And I felt you calling me home, because we belong together. We are one. And it was instant. It was undeniable. It was scary as hell. And it's unconditional. It's not going away. It won't ever go away. And we can walk separate paths, and that's fine if that's what needs to be. But I want you to know it's never going to change. It is there. It is who we are. And then another day after I woke up from a very interesting dream, I just wanted to remind you that I see you. I see your soul. I feel your presence. I hear your voice. I am constantly receiving signs, like I said before, through angel numbers, through spirit animals, through music. I see your name everywhere. I'll be having a conversation. Somebody will say your name, and then I'll look up, and then your last name will be there on a street sign or a business or whatever it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. You're always even when you're not in my thoughts, universe puts you in my thoughts. So just know, yeah. And then the other thing I wanted, what's on the back before I say that part? Yeah. I guess the last thing that I wanted to say, because I gotta take my kid lunch apparently, is that every day I send you love and light and strength. I send it to you every day in the hopes that it will help you knock down the brick walls that are holding you trapped from reaching your highest good. I send you love. I send you light. I send you strength every day in hopes that those barriers that are keeping you restrained or locked into whatever repeated pattern you have going on, I send them to you in hopes that it helps you break through and see your truth and feel the love that I have for you, that many others have for you, that the universe has for you, because you deserve it. You deserve to feel it, and you deserve to know it in your heart. Yeah, so it's a bit of a long one. Sorry. I've had a lot to say. I've missed talking to you. Anyway, dear twin flame, you are loved and you are missed. And if I don't get back before Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be well.